Hey, welcome back to Snapball Games. My name is Max, and I'm back with another Pauper League, and I'm going to be playing this Mardu party deck, Mardu Value Town. I'll get into this deck tech in a second. Real quick, going to shout out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/snapbolt. Go to the channel, check it out, and sub to the channel. It's really the best way to support me. And I record all my leagues live on Twitch, twitch.tv/snapboltgames. So let's get into a deck tech here, and then we'll get right into the league. This deck, you can see here, it's actually called Mardu Party, and that's because when I first brewed the deck, the idea behind it was using essentially the Boros base and then also playing Cleansing Wildfire and Boarding Party because I really like Boarding Party as a card. But after playing one league with that version, there was a few times where I had a lot of mana on my turn. I had a Boarding Party and a Core Skyfisher in my hand, and I was just like, I'm just going to cast Core Skyfisher Bounce Synthesizer because it's going to be better than Boarding Party. And then I was like, well, Cleansing Wildfire is still really good, but I don't know if I need the Boarding Parties. They're bad with Synthesizer, and this deck has really low mana value cards, but you can use all the mana you get from Wildfire anyway. So that's the idea behind the deck, and let's go into a little more depth. So again, it's basically just like a Boros list where you're playing Glinthawk, Core Skyfisher, Thraben Inspector, Synth, Wellspring, and then Galblast Bolt. So it's that same base, but instead of playing Seeker of the Way, maybe called Doth of Rebirth, those type of cards, what we're doing is we're playing Cleansing Wildfire along with some indestructible artifact lands to have Rampant Growth draw a card, but then also to help fix our mana for black, and then we just get to play Ancestral Recall also. That's the idea behind the deck. Now, another thing that we came up with, actually I was brewing this deck on stream after I played a league of a previous video, was Omen of the Dead Core Skyfisher is a really strong interaction as well. Um, and I've played a couple games with the deck, and Omen has been pretty impressive so far. The combo with Core Skyfisher is really nice because what you do basically is you Core Skyfisher something, they kill it eventually, then you Omen of the Dead, get Core Skyfisher back, but then you just leave Omen of the Dead in your hand, and if they kill Core Skyfisher again, you just Omen it back and then keep doing that, and it's like inevitable loops basically. You can just keep getting Core Skyfisher back. So a lot of times the opponent's put in a position where they can't kill Core Skyfisher um, with Omen of the Dead. Plus, this is just a value card. Now, what I mentioned earlier is again, look, all our cards cost 1 and 2 mana, so why do we really need a Rampant Growth effect? But this deck can utilize its mana really well, and it actually needs a ton of mana because a lot of times you need to play Ichor Wellspring and then Core Skyfisher it back, replay Ichor Wellspring. That's already 6 mana right there. I had a match earlier against Blue Black Fae where I had like 10 mana in play. I was flooded. Opponent was interacting, trading off. And then I was able to just top deck Omen of the Dead, got back Core Skyfisher, bounce Omen of the Dead, and then I got back another Core Skyfisher, then a Glinthawk, and then played some more Ichor Wellsprings. I used all my mana. I didn't even have enough mana. I was at like 10. So the deck can do some pretty impressive stuff. Our mana's not even that bad because of Cleansing Wildfire. I'm only playing one Swamp right now, and then 4 black-red bridges and 1 black-white bridge. Because you can always find the Swamp whenever you have a Cleansing Wildfire as well, and we don't necessarily need to cast any of these black cards that early. That being said, we could play one more like Goldmire Bridge. We could also end up cutting one mountain and play one more white source because we're playing 8 red bridges for Wildfire. I think the red ones are obviously better because you want to be able to cast this to find your other colors when you need it. So we could play one more Goldmire Bridge, one more Plains, whatever you need. I liked the one Firebolt so far, and the one Thorn has been fine. As far as the sideboard, pretty standard cards that you would expect. A lot of Affinity hate with Dust to Dust and Gorilla Shaman, 3 Pyroblast, 2 Suffocating Fumes, triple Lone Missionary, tons of burn, and Black Red Madness burn right now, and then a couple Leave No Trace for Boggles. That's basically the deck. I will say also, I started a league already with this deck. We're 2-0 in the league. We beat Blue Black Fae twice, 2-0, 4-0 in the league. So we just need to win the last 3 to 5-0 it. So we're going to be going into round 3 here with the deck, and let's see how we do. Let's go to round 3. All right, welcome to round 3. We're against Luffy. I'll keep this hand, just value cards here. Let's see what Luffy's on. Probably just going to lead Rustvale Bridge on my turn. Looks like Affinity could be something else. Could be another Boros type of like Boros deck as well. On turn 2, I'll probably just play Ichor Wellspring as well here. Ichor Wellspring, might as well play. Okay. Kind of like a mirrored start here for both players. We're on the draw though. Another Ichor Wellspring. Do they have another land? They do. We have a lot of hate if it is just straight up Affinity. If I can play Core Skyfisher, bounce Wellspring. I can start with Synth. I feel like if I play this, it's gonna just get Galv Blasted, but that's not that bad. I think starting with Synth is the best, because bouncing Synth the next turn with Core Skyfisher is just more value, and it's more mana efficient than bouncing Wellspring. So I like just playing Synth here. We can cast pretty much all our cards. Mountain. Okay, so now I can just play Skyfisher as well since we hit. I'll just bounce Wellspring now. That's just the most efficient play, I think. And no Galv Blast from them. Interesting. They just go Ancestral to start their turn off. They have 9 cards in hand, but we still have 7. We're doing fine. They're hitting land drops. It is just Affinity. Okay. Another Synth. Just mono Synths here. We have a lot of Galv Blasts as well that we can find. Ichor Wellspring. Alright, I mean, probably just going to have to continue to develop here. We'll take a hit off this Enforcer. We're not in the best shape here, but we can certainly come back. Guess I just play Goldmire Bridge to get the Black Source into play in case we draw our own Ancestral. We can also think about, if we draw Cleansing Wildfire, we can Cleansing Wildfire them. If they don't have a basic, we just get to Stone Rain them, draw a card. Wow, I do not like that. Grayscale Blood Fountain, I just don't like that. Okay, there's Cleansing Wildfire that we mentioned. We might also just want more mana for ourselves, though. I think like Stone Raining them here doesn't actually do that much. I think I'm going to start with Core Skyfisher back Synth, see what we hit. And then maybe Cleansing Wildfire ourselves, maybe just play whatever we hit. They're adding blue mana. Oh, did they have the oh, they have just, oh, it's Counterspell. Okay, so it's kind of the Grixis Control version. I feel like that makes it even more likely that they have one basic in their deck. And I just want more mana here, so I'm just going to Cleansing Wildfire us. Galv Blast the Core Skyfisher. Okay. It's fine. And then they're going to loot. They have 4 cards in hand. Yes, I want to use the ability. I think I get Plains. We draw Mountain. Then I'll just play a tap land. Then we're going to 12. We're kind of in rough shape here. Yeah, especially to second Enforcer and another Ancestral. Okay, yeah, we're behind here, but again, remember that we have really good sideboard for this matchup as well. 3 Dust to Dust, 2 Gorilla Shaman. Lightning Bolt, that's pretty bad here. Let's go Synth. Mountain. I feel like I just need to play this Wellspring. I could crack a Synth. Maybe that's better because then I get at least a Chump Walker and I can Bolt. Let's do it. I can also play this Mountain if I need to. Or if I want to. We hit a Cleansing Wildfire. I can't really Wildfire them now because then they can just Munition, sack it, I don't get to draw a card. I think we just Cleansing Wildfire ourselves. Again, we're probably losing this game here, but we'll keep trying. We can block, Bolt, go to 8. They have 4 cards. I guess then we just Data Munitions. Their draw was just a little bit too strong here. The Batman. Let's pause. Alright, we're good. We scared him away. Okay, we remember where we are in this game. We're passing the turn. They probably just they could have just munitioned us end of turn there, but they chose not to. I mean, we're basically already dead on board. Luffy's in the tank here. My plan again is just go block, after damage, lightning bolt, if they let me do all that. Not drawing any galvanic blasts in the top 23 is rough. Plus we're just basically dead to munitions like no matter what here, since we're going to 8 and they have all these lands in play. I know Luffy's a really good player, play against them all the time, so not expecting them to miss that or anything. So we can just basically concede, but just see if we see another card or two, I guess. And they can just munitions these stars at us whenever, and really got wrecked by this. Without this, then we would have a chance. They still have the blood fountain. Let's just go to the next one. We're just dead. We don't really have answers to munitions. Okay. So we have a plan here. These 5 cards are great. I think these cards are not that great. We could have like a lightning bolt or two. But I think everything else seems pretty reasonable. Thorn is good. Thraben is so-so, but I think it's a fine value card. I don't think we need Lone Missionary. I don't think we need Leave No Trace for their munitions. This looks good to me. We can answer like their Mirror Enforcers with our Dust Dust too if we're not killing their lands. Bolt just not killing Enforcer is pretty bad. It's also kind of funny because a lot of times this deck plays similar to like a burn deck where you just draw so many cards and then you just burn them out with Bolt and Galblast and Firebolt. All right, we don't really have that much of our hate here, but I think this is still a keep. I don't know if it really matters which one of these I lead on. I'm probably playing Wellspring on 2 anyway. I'll just lead with the red bridge. And I don't think it really matters here. Now just looking for Dust to Dust, basically. I'll just Skyfisher this back. Next turn, play a Goldmire Bridge, most likely. We'll see what they do. They played like the blue, untapped blue source here and passed. I would not play Core Skyfisher. Then I would just play Bridge and pass probably. I don't want this to get countered, but I feel like it's unlikely that they have Seed of the Cyanod plus Counterspell here. Although I think this build of Affinity is pretty strong. This like control version with 3 or 4 Counterspell does seem strong. Bridge, or they played Star into another bridge, yeah. Okay. Just go Skyfisher, bounce Wellspring. I'll play a red-white bridge now. Again, we only have a couple black cards in our deck, so we generally don't need that many black sources, but we want a lot of red and white sources. Another bridge is not great. Are they going to counter this? Hopefully not. We just kept a land heavy hand and then drew a lot of lands. They're going Deadly Dispute right now. If Spell Pierce, maybe? No. Ooh, nice. They have 3 bridges out though. I think I am not playing Gorilla Shaman. I think I just play Bridge. pass, and I just wait on this. I might be able to get more value out of it. If I played Shaman and they just Gal Blast it, it's kind of annoying for me. And mono bridges from the opponent. That is really annoying. And I don't think I should Gorilla Shaman just to try to kill treasure. Plus, they can just counter the Gorilla Shaman. Let's just pass. This is feeling pretty bad, though. Especially, they likely can have Counterspell now, too. We'll see. We obviously have a lot of good draws. And a Deadly Dispute. Jeez. Deadly Dispute is probably our best draw as well. Obviously, Glint Hawk and Core Skyfisher are both pretty reasonable as well. They could have counter though. Wow, literally mono bridges, and feel like they have the counter. They've drawn so many cards. Omen of the Dead. I guess what I can do is I can just play Gorilla Shaman now. If they counter it, then I can just Omen of the Dead back Skyfisher. I think that's a pretty reasonable line. I can also just threaten to blow these up with Shaman. Yo, Pauper Tim, what's up? They definitely have counterspell, right? Luffy says LOL. LOL for sure. All right, so now I just go blow up your treasure, and then I go blow up your chromatic star, I guess. It's not very good, but yeah, of course they have, 2 vaults, 2 seats, game 1, and then game 2 they have 5 indestructible lands. Brutal. All right, they're gal blasting that. That is good. I don't want to spend the mana to kill Chromatic Star now. I was trying to bait a counterspell with this, but with all bridges, they didn't bite. So I think I just have to go Omen right now, and they probably just counter it. Oh wow, they didn't get Core Skyfisher back. Maybe they just don't have it. And then I just Core Skyfisher back Omen pass. Surprised they didn't count. Oh, they're countering this? Interesting. So now I guess I need to draw another Core Skyfisher to bounce this. I can also crack it like during my next upkeep, but I think I'd rather take 1 draw step. I can crack it during their turn, if anything. So much card advantage from them. Six bridges in play, jeez. One, and they discarded one. Synth. They let it resolve. Interesting. Didn't even think they would let that resolve either. Let's crack this synth. We hit another one. Do I want to play land first to play around like Spell Pierce? I think so. Brutal. Draw is just not quite lining up for us. We're still doing okay, but we're definitely behind. It's not like playing the land there first really cost us. Wow, another ancestral from them. They're just drawing, you know, all the deadly disputes and thought casts, and we just haven't found a deadly dispute yet. Wow. You know, there are 11 cards ahead in library, just drawing so many cards. Yeah, munitions is good. I mean, it's not for us, but it resolves. Mirror Retriever, okay. I guess I just Gal Blast this right now. Can just wait. I'll just wait. There's Ancestral for us. Nice. I'll sack the Wellspring because the Synth can sack itself, or Wellspring can. It's just sitting there. All right, Core Skyfisher. That's really good. So I can Skyfisher back Omen, replay Omen, play Core Skyfisher, bounce Omen again. Didn't counter it. Get back Skyfisher. I don't think I need Gorilla Shaman right now. And then just go land. Skyfisher, get back Omen again. And then pass. I don't think I needed to Gal Blast yet because they would just use the mana right then for munitions. Sure, they can do it later, but Fiery Cannonade. And then munitions away, that killing this. I mean, this is all fine. They're returning Ichor Wellspring. So they're going to kill Samurai Token and this Core Skyfisher, and then they're going to ping this one. I guess I can Gal Blast right now, then they just sack Enforcer. Is there any reason to block first and then... I think I can just block here, actually. So just let this resolve. So now they're pinging this Skyfisher. So now I can Gal Blast this to not take 4. Then they have to just sack it. I can Omen of the Dead next turn. Spell Pierce. Did have Spell Pierce, which is interesting. I guess I could Gal Blast using the treasure. I suppose I should. Sure, they get to activate, but I don't think that treasure is really necessary at this point. They just let it go, so they have Counterspell, probably. Interesting. Alright, let's just lead... Let's not lead Omen, because I don't want it to get countered, so let's play everything else before Omen. Kind of just leave the threat of Omen in hand. See if they bite on this. They do not. There's a Plains. Dust to Dust. They probably, again, do have Counterspell. I think I just play Dust to Dust. Exiling these 2 lands. And then I can just use the... Oh, I don't actually have another treasure. I thought that my clue was a treasure. Maybe I just go for this next turn. I'll just crack my clue. And I can play Omen. What's up, Jay? They go Wellspring. Again, the reason I didn't play this is because I figured they have another counterspell, and I really want to resolve Omen of the Dead. It's critical. Guess I could have sided in a Pyroblast or two. Not sure if it's actually good to do so. They have a treasure. Interesting. Oops, I should have probably left black up. I guess it doesn't really matter. Another Omen. That's good. I suppose I start with Dust to Dust on 2 blue sources. See if they counter it or if they just use munitions to sack. And then I can start trying to play these Omens. They are just going to munitions this down. That's fine. Sick. Mimi, what's up? Thanks for the sub. Appreciate it. Sick. Dayman, what's up? Hey, thanks for the subs, everyone. Okay, so Dust to Dust happens. I need to play a little fast. I can't really read all those messages right now, although I want to. Let's go Thraben, Trigger. Now I just go for Omen, I think. If they counter it, I can play the second Omen. Omen. Get back Skyfisher. Just play land, I suppose. Skyfisher back Omen. And then Omen, back Skyfisher. Keep doing it. Pass. They could have another counterspell since they've drawn most of their deck. I think I'm just chumping here. I know I could chump with this, and then if I resolve Omen again, I get to just keep the train going. Maybe it's worth. I don't think I need the core Skyfisher in play really, and this allows me to keep the core Skyfisher loops still going if they don't have third counter, which again they're likely to have since they've drawn 2/3 of their deck, but they could easily have not have the last 2 counters. All right, let's just try for it now. They're playing another Ancestral. It's even possible that we could run them out of cards entirely here. Skyfisher, bounce Omen, and then play Thorn. Could have cracked a clue earlier. I think it's fine to crack now. I can crack these since like next turn or something. And then attack for 2. I guess I should have attacked with Thraben too. But I want to protect the Monarch as well as I can. Maybe I shouldn't have even attacked with that Skyfisher. But I guess it's also not that big of a deal if they take the Monarch. They're pinging us with munitions. You got it. Galblast us. That's not a good sign. They've already played 3 Galblasts, though. Now that's all 4. We're at 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. They have 9 artifacts in play right now. I guess we might just be dead to munitions. I think this... I mean... Oh, did I just click through their... Did I just take 4? Wait. Oh, no. Oh, last turn, you mean? I wasn't able to block last turn. This is the end of our turn still. Yeah. They have 9 artifacts. So if they play 1 more artifact, we die. GG's. I mean, they drew their entire deck first. We had a good value engine going, but couldn't beat munitions plus drawing the entire deck. Good match though. We also just didn't really draw the hate in the right order. Like we drew Gorilla Shaman, they had all bridges, and then we flipped a Dust to Dust off Synthesizer, which was pretty brutal. um, that we just couldn't even cast. And then they drew their entire deck. So yeah, rough, but I think this deck is still really good. It might need a little bit of tuning, like maybe we just want the fourth Thestitas, maybe we want a Dawnbringer Cleric, or an extra Revoke Existence or something to help with, a Revoke. It can exile lands, but it can also deal with the munitions. So there's definitely a lot of play and a lot of card choices we could still add to this deck, but you can see that the engine of the deck of just being like the synthesizer, Glinthawk, Core Skyfisher type of Boros like base, and then adding Ancestral Recall for even more card advantage, plus Omen to the Dead engine with Skyfisher is really powerful and hard to deal with. I mean, again, we got burned out from 20 essentially, but usually when we're having our engine going, that's going to beat a lot of decks. So we'll see everybody for round 4. That was sweet. All right, now we're 2-1 in the league overall because we started out 2-0. We're against Rin's Gerd. Sounds pretty awkward, but I think it's worth it. We have a Cleansing Wildfire to ramp or to stop Tron. Go bridge, turn 2, Thraben bridge, and then I guess I'll turn 3 Wildfire them. Unfortunate that we can't play it on turn 2 here. No untapped lands. And they just nat Tron. Brutal. That is so brutal. I suppose I just Wildfire their tower. And they just slam an Erasure too. Oh man. That feels pretty bad. Definitely just killing tower here. Again, this card, like in this deck compared to Boros, I think should help this matchup overall too. But this is going to be kind of tough to beat. Natron, Foundry Inspector, play like 6 spells on turn 3. That's pretty disgusting. Yeah, that'll happen. They only have 2 cards left though, so if their hand is just like, let's say like Mine, Power Plant or something, but the problem is they get 3 redraws here, so yeah, it's gonna be rough. I need to try to take them off all their mana though, so it would be nice for us to get more mana too, but hopefully we just draw into like a mountain. Okay, at least we hit a lane there. I'm also just gonna try to play really fast. Yeah, I just bought the Dust to Dust in paper too, and Deadly Dispute is actually like $4 in paper too. I think I bought them for like 3 or something, but it's a lot for a new common. That's crazy. All right, opponent's just going Ancestral, starting to mill us out. I feel like it should be pretty easy for them to mill us, but again, I'm going to keep trying here. Oh, they just natted the tower too. Don't know if I've seen anything more Tron than that. So we can bring in. I think I'll just take 3 here. I don't think the damage really matters. Just we can bring in a couple Dust to Dusts. All right, I think I'm playing Synth, maybe into Glinthawk. I want to kill both of these if I can, but I need to find more lands and more stuff too. I need to keep developing my board. Okay, I'm just gonna play that now. Another Cleansing Wildfire. Missing the land drop is bad for us, but all right, there's Golem Foundry. Again, I'm pretty sure we're dead here. They're oh, it's just too crazy, and they were on the play. Jeez, this is probably the best draw I've ever seen from that deck. We also don't really have any graveyard hate. Which we could change. We could have a Nihil Spellbomb or two. Opponent's playing really fast, but I think it's still important to make them use, make them make them kill us, basically. Takes a lot of clicks, especially with Erasure. And we just want to be up on time moving into the other games. Just, to keep the time pressure on them, basically. I don't need to chunk yet, I don't think. 3 cards in hand. I'm going to just start with Ancestral here. Again, I need to keep hitting land drops, and I can still Cleansing Wildfire no matter what. Okay, nice. Let's go land. I don't know if I even need to Cleansing Wildfire. I can just bolt all 3 of their creatures. It's probably best. I don't really want to take damage, and I can save the Cleansing Wildfire for like next turn. Attack for 1. Maybe they just have like lands in hand, but again, they have a bunch more cards on the table here. Oh god, they're adding green. Do they have a Fangren? Looks like it. Now they get to gain 15 right now. They could even gain 20 right now. Again, just make them combo and make them kill us, though. The fact that they had the early Erasure and we didn't have an answer was kind of brutal, too. I still don't think the correct choice is to bring in Pyroblast. I mean, opponent just had the nuts this game. Yeah, we can Wildfire this, but they're already off Tron at the moment. We've already killed 2 towers. So I don't know if we like need to do that, basically. Again, I guess I just don't want to like spend any time making decisions here. Because I think we're like gonna lose this game no matter what. All right, they Tron up. They have infinite mana now. They're also essentially at 44 life already. They have second Marauder main. I think I bring in like 2 Dust to Dusts, and I think that's it. Maybe all 3 Dust to Dusts. Maybe 2 is fine. I don't want too much of that effect, especially if I have a better draw and their draw is a little bit worse. Lightning Bolt, sure. They have no more basics. I'm just taking actions at this point. Guess I'll just trade with Golem, Chump, Fangren. There's another tower, sure. There's teachings. I guess they can get Scattershot here. I guess they can also just get the thing that stacks artifacts on top of their library. Yeah, it likely is a good matchup. Oh, they got yeah, they did get Frantic Salvage. I think Boros is a good matchup because the clock's not that fast. Um, and it's kind of hard to deal with Marauder. There's just like a lot of things, but our version is a little bit different because we have Cleansing Wildfire. Um, of course, opponent just went turn 3 Tron, play 6 spells on turn 3, but a lot of times keeping them off Tron with Cleansing Wildfire while having like a similar Boros deck might make our matchup a little bit better. Still probably not great, but their Golem Foundry's at 2. Yeah, so I'm going to plan on going double block here, jump here, and then just, I mean, we get milled out. Opponent's definitely experienced with the deck because they're playing really fast, so they're playing well. We're at 6. I guess now what I can do is I can just block Fangren and bolt it. But again, we just get milled out here. I don't even know if it's worth it. Maybe we just concede at this point. It's only going to take them another couple seconds to win. Just save some of our own time here. Okay, I think I just want a couple of these. Maybe just sideboard like minimally like this. The Raven's obviously not that good either, but at least it just cantrips and makes an artifact. I can have Pyroblast or leave no trace for erasure, but that doesn't seem that good. Most of the time they're not like really jamming erasure that early. Yeah, we don't really have good answers for Fangren right now. I chose to not have any Chainer's Edicts in the sideboard, rather have leave no trace for Boggles. I think this card's like more impactful there. We're just gonna have to try to Cleansing Wildfire them and pressure them, I think. Yeah, we just really don't want to let them like set up their engine basically. I don't think there's actually a huge rush to play Inspector, because then I do nothing on turn 2. I think this is better. Not entirely sure. They led a non-Tron land. That's so interesting. Obviously, leading Inspector would have been better given we drew an untapped land, but I wanted to use my mana efficiently and then continue to use it efficiently here. So I think the line I took was much more likely to be able to utilize all my mana every turn. This draw is looking decent though, because we have a turn 4 Thorn, which can try to put us ahead on cards here. Looks like they have an Ancestral though. Oh, just Golem Foundry, okay. I'm gonna just crack Clue. Ichor Wellspring. This could be bad. They might be able to make like multiple golems next turn. We don't even have double weight for Dust to Dust at this point. Now they can Tron up too. I guess they also don't have that much mana this turn, but next turn they will. And we don't have that much pressure going yet. So they have 3 mana. They can potentially make 1 golem. They have 2 artifacts here. Looks like likely to be the case. All right. I think I lead Synth. Definitely would like to hit more lands if I can. Another synth. Might as well play it. Could have Skyfisher back this synth, but I think this is better. Now let's Lightning Bolt this. No Cleansing Wildfire, no Dust to Dust yet for us. Kind of brutal. We're drawing extra cards with the Monarch. We have 2 power attacking here. Problem is, opponent can basically like go off here. So they Deadly Dispute into Golden Egg into Bobble. Okay, so this has 3 counters now. Make the golem right now. This can make it anytime. There's no need to make it yet, but it doesn't really hurt them either. Suppose I lead Skyfisher back synth. Gal Blast. So I have 12 points of burn. They're at 17. They have golden eggs out though. I think I just need to keep their board clear. Now do I play Wellspring or do I play Synth? I could miss if I play Synth. I think I just Wellspring. Tap land. Ooh, there's Dust to Dust, okay. This would have been good, a little bit earlier, but maybe can still do some work now. Oh, interesting, Bingo Banjo. So you're playing Pestilence, and then do you have Guardian of the Guild back as well? There's Foundry. Really needed a Cleansing Wildfire. They've had Tron for so many turns. Yeah, you can ship me the list. Take a look at it. Sounds sweet. Sounds kind of just like Black-White Pestilence with Cleansing Wildfire, which seems like it should be good. I don't know if it's better than Black-White Pestilence, but maybe it is. They don't have enough mana to Marauder this turn because they're only on 5 mana. Oh no, they had a land drop still. So they can still play Marauder and crack Treasure, Star, or Sphere of Map, gain like infinite. Looks like they don't have the Marauder yet. Duress. Take Dust to Dust maybe? Maybe they take a burn spell. They take Dust to Dust. They're at 12 and we have 11 points of burn. And we have an Ancestral. Gonna try to, I guess they're essentially at 18. I guess I start with Ancestral. I don't really want to spend more burn on their creatures at this point. I want to just go face. Try to end the game if I can. Play another Ancestral. Drawing all ins. It's pretty bad for us. Not even a Cleansing Wildfire, huh? So now I can play Synth. Another Synth. Doesn't exactly do much. There's a tap land. I don't know if I need to play that because I can play an untap land just as well. I don't think I care about my life total that much at this point. So I think I go untap land, the Raven, attack for 2. They just find a Marauder, we die. Like our draw has been functional, it's just not finding like the hate cards we need. They're at 13. Crack spare supplies. They still have the golden egg. They have 11 points of burn. Discard some tap lands. Oh, this looks like a Fangren. So that's gain 20. So I think I just need to go float red, let it resolve, and then double burn spell the Fangren right now. They can gain a bunch of life. Then I need to try to somehow win an attrition war. Right. They're going crack for white, and then crack golden egg. Sure. They gain 18. If I draw another Dust to Dust and kill the Golem Foundry, though, maybe somehow we do this. Again, we really just needed to keep them off Tron. Cool, bingo banjo. I'll check it out later. They bog us. Sure. Doesn't really matter. Think we want to protect the Monarch here too? Because we still need to draw cards. We can also Omen back, like Thorn replay, have another good blocker. I think I'll start with Crack Clue. There's Lightning Bolt. So I do have to just start like managing their board basically. I think I'll crack this too. Is that greedy? I think it's fine. I get a 2/2. Here's a Cleansing Wildfire. But it's kind of awkward now. Still gonna cast it. They're probably just gonna play another power plant, honestly. I guess I'm just double blocking a golem. I can always just let them have the monarch for a turn. It's not like that bad. I just want to keep trading for their stuff at the moment. Or I can just attack, take the monarch back too. Yeah, they do. The deck does take a lot of time. I probably shouldn't have even conceded. I should have made them use the last 30 seconds in game 1. We just haven't drawn quite well enough. An opponent had a really solid draw game 1. Another Marauder. Yeah, it's going to be tough. I'll keep trying though. Maybe they mill out sometimes. Maybe I don't even want to take the monarch. Just let them have it, and then try to mill them. It's also going to be hard without any graveyard hate. Yeah, it's not. It does feel like a pretty bad matchup. I could see winning some matches against it if you have like an early wildfire, but without that, it's really bad. And with frantic salvage, I just can't really mill them out. There's no way. Lightning Bolt? Sure. Galvblast? Alright, I can kill all their stuff. Don't know if this is going to be enough, though. Do I want to take the Monarch? I guess. I guess I'm going to mill out at this point. But maybe I can still lethal them somehow. Yeah, and they even have the Frantic Salvage to stop from milling out. Feels like there's no way. Also, they can probably set up, one Foundry Inspector plus 0 cards in library plus double bobble is infinite life. And they have, is that all the Marauders? Or they shuffled one back in, maybe? Either way, I think we are done here. We only have 16 cards left. I don't see how we win. They're at 54. We can't kill all these Marauders. Maybe this is just a terrible matchup for us, even with Wildfire. They don't care that much. They can just find Tron again. So 2-0-4-0 into 2-2 with 2-0-2 losses here. So kind of rough. But I think this deck is still strong. Again, maybe that Tron matchup is a little rough. I think the Affinity matchup's not too bad. We just didn't draw, like the hate in the right order there. So I can still 3-2 this league, but not exactly what I wanted to show off with the deck here. But still been some good fun matches. It's mulligan. I think we mulligan this as well. We should go to 5. All right. Fortunately, no artifact land yet, but we have to keep. Maybe I just put back Cleansing Wildfire, Core Skyfisher here. I think that's the safest. Keep both of these burn spells in case we're against like Fae or something. Plains, okay. Maybe you just Boros. Maybe Mono White Heroic with a weird draw. Cycle Ash Barrens. Feels like it's probably Boros. Oh, Island. Is it like Evoke or Fams or something? Not sure yet. I think we have to synth here. We missed. I think we had to synth there because the next turn we can Core Skyfisher back synth to try to look for another land. So I think we had to play it. It is Fams, okay. We can just kill this. I think we have to kill this now. Nice, hitting a land was good. This should be an interesting matchup as well. Seagate, so they are playing Seagate. I've seen some decks cutting that recently. Yeah, it's just Fams, and you probably said that earlier before they played the Fam, but I can Gallop Blast this, but they can have Ephemerate up. Let's just Core Skyfisher back synth to start. I'm not in a rush to Gallop Blast this, I don't think. Rather do this. Then just play a tap land. We're in trouble here, though. Again, our draws have just been a little awkward in these 3 games of this league that I've showcased. Maybe the matchup against Fae is just good with this deck and it struggles against other matchups, but I don't know. I still think this deck is pretty reasonable. Oh, they have Malady Ephemerate. Yeah. Still had to tap out for value there because I mulled the 5. I felt like I was behind. All right. Well, we get to kill. I can actually kill like both of these. And I can even play synth. I guess I just lead on synth. Galv Blast right there, okay. Can't kill all their creatures because I don't have quad red, but I think I leave the familiar in play, actually. Otherwise they get to ephemerate one of these two things. Why don't I actually just kill one, and then they're going to try to ephemerate Seagate, and then I'll try to Galv Blast that in response to the ephemerate. That's just worse than killing both now, actually. So I'll just firebolt this. I don't want them to draw any cards. Okay. Yeah, I didn't even look at that list, but I think that's Heisen's Mardu. That's Heiden's like Marzu Ephemerate deck, which was actually what I based Blue White Evoke off of as well, which is pretty cool because he was one of the first people to play what's that card called? Soul of Migration. All right, we're just getting famsed here. This matchup feels pretty bad too. We have no graveyard hate, so maybe the deck still needs some work, but this deck I still think is pretty strong. Even if we just like go 2-3 into 0-3, I think this deck can still do some pretty powerful stuff. And I mean, this match isn't over. We just mulled the 5-game one, got wrecked. Did they just have Ephemerate up as well? All right, there's Swamp. Definitely gonna be playing that. Maybe the opponent gets greedy and I can like Galv Blast in response to an Ephemerate. Oh, I guess they're going for Ephemerate Archaeomancer right now, and I have to hope they have nothing. Counter. All right, let's just go to the next one. Now they just get back Ephemerate, get back Counter, or get back a Snap. They can just do everything right now. Sure, I could make them use time, but I don't really feel like doing that. I think we just want these. Maybe this stuff's a little slow. Cleansing Wildfire to ramp or to kill their bounce lands are also really good. This seems pretty reasonable. It's just jam. Not a very good draw. I wonder if I should mulligan, but I feel like I just need to keep like a functional draw like this. And maybe this is just terrible, but do they have a null or spell pierce or something? No. They would like never run spell pierce, right? Because they would just run the gate. They have 4 fans. I was thinking about siding out an Omen, but I was like, if they counter a lot of my stuff, I'm gonna want to be able to grind. And of course, I just draw both Omens. Could be one Omen main, but I think in some matchups it's really good. Could be one main, one side is correct. Let's get a little great angle for synth here. Hydro, okay. We're just not really drawing anything relevant yet. There's a Faithful. Just continue to play out cards. Just giving the opponent so much time to set up here, though, is not where we want to be. Crack Clue. Nothing else to do. Opponent probably loves seeing that. Literally out of gas here. Man, drew a lot of extra cards, but didn't find anything good. Archaeomancer back Hydro. Sure. That is pretty good. And of course we draw Cleansing Wildfire right now and they have Hydro. Oh my god. This is just how this league has been going. This has been pretty frustrating, honestly. Nice one, Jay. I think it means we're dead. I mean, I'm inspecting the game state and God, I just don't see any way to get out of it. Revoke existence of land. Resolves. Then tap out for another Archaeomancer? I don't know why they have to do that. They don't want to leave up Hydro? Could actually cost them. But looks like we're just drawing all air. Yep. Pretty brutal. Yeah, Dayman, that's that for those that haven't heard, a lot of times when I would go play Paper Magic, I only like would get to play essentially like once a week. So I would often like choose to bring decks that I knew would take a really long time and take the entire round. So I would just get to play like an hour of Magic and then not have to wait for the next round to start because I'd always be the last one. All right, opponent's just playing pretty loose here, but they're still probably gonna win because our draw has been pretty bad. Like, there's no reason for them to really do this. Tap out from Mulldrifter. I mean, maybe it's fine. They're just attacking with 04. I'll take it. They're just messing around, I think. Yeah, we lose. GG's. I'm gonna concede. Really, really bad showing for the deck, but I'm still happy to get to play it here. Just 0-3 here in this league. I, I I think there's certainly some improvements we could make. Let's work on the list for a second while we wrap up this YouTube video. I think having another Dust to Dust is just going to be better than Gorilla Shaman against Affinity. We could go 4-1. We can also, like, I'm going to say cut a Lead No Trace. I think I can cut a Fumes, actually. Maybe we don't even need the Gorilla Shaman, but I kind of wanted a Revoke Existence. Maybe we go 3 Dust to Dust, 2 Revoke Existence. It's easier to cast and can help deal with munitions. Yeah, I like this. 1 Gorilla Shaman, 2 Revoke, triple Dust to Dust. We could even cut a Leave No Trace and have like 1 Chainer's Edict, but this is just so strong against Boggles. Another, oh, this is the another card I wanted in the sideboard. Whoops. I think Patriarch Scorn might just be better than Leave No Trace. I guess it's like a sorcery, but it's a free spell. We could go 1-1. It's just destroy all enchantments regardless of color too. And we don't have any enchantments actually in this build. I think I kind of like that better. We don't have that many white spells. Could go 1-1. I think those changes there already help us in our sideboarding. I think I want second bridge. It's a lot of tap lands. 10 tap lands, 10 untap lands. Yeah, that's obviously just going to be a bad matchup, I think, essentially no matter what. These were kind of the last 2 flex slots in the deck that could be something else as well. Like, we could play like 2 Seeker of the Ways or something else. I think obviously these 2 cards are fine. I think all of these are solid. Again, 1 Omen could be side, but I'm not sure we want that. I also kind of want like just some type of graveyard hate. I spelled it wrong. Maybe Relic is even just better than Spellbomb. I know we have Omen. Maybe not. Can go to 2 Pyroblast because the Fey matchup should already be pretty decent. Only 1 Fumes is rough. No Cannonade for decks like Elves, but we have a lot of burn for that matchup already. Sideboard's already getting really tight. Just needing like all this hate for Affinity. Could just cut the Gorilla Shaman. Or go 3 Dust to Dust, 1 Revoke, 1 Gorilla Shaman. Yeah, I think I like that, and then having some spell bombs for any type of graveyard matchup and for Eggtron. I don't think we even bring in Leave No Trace or Scorn against that Tron deck. I think we just want a Cleansing Wildfire, keep them off Tron while like pressuring them and drawing cards. I think that's just going to be a bad matchup no matter what. I'm not sure there's anything we can do. Also, I'm not sure about adding this 10th bridge actually now that I think about it. I mean, 10 tap lands, 10 on tap lands is just a lot of tap lands. I think I'll just add a plains. We could cut an Omen as well and just have 1. I also wanted 1 Reaping the Graves. Maybe 1 Omen, 1 Reaping the Graves main. I don't hate that. Or just cut 1 Omen for something else random. Like another threat. Could play like 1 or 2 Seeker of the Ways. I mean, you don't need to storm that hard for Reaping in this deck. If you're just Reaping for like 2 or 3, you get back like, you know, a Skyfisher and 2 Glint Hawks. That's usually enough to put away a lot of matchups. I think this is fine. A lot of things I talked about, like cutting an Omen, could cut the Firebolt, could cut Thorn, could play Seeker of the Way, could play like even like Chain Lightning, but I think Firebolt's probably better. You know, these are all, I think, reasonable choices. I think this deck is still pretty strong. I'm not sure exactly where to go with it, but I do like it, and I think it's better than we showed in this league. So I think that'll wrap up this YouTube video, but thanks everyone for watching. Until next time, YouTube. Peace.